Hi and welcome to this video. I'm going to explain how you can make the leap from mid-engineer to senior engineer. So let's get started. The primary focus of this video is going to be from the DevOps side of things, but this can also apply to help desks. Sysadmins are kind of in a league of their own, where I've honestly not heard about junior sysadmins and senior sysadmins, but I do know they do exist. So hey, you may get some use out of this, but normally it's just always been a sysadmin and that's it. So here are some tips on how you can make the leap. One is certifications help massively. Now, if you come from a consultancy side, this is really key because what you have to do to deliver promotions to go up from mid to senior is you need to demonstrate your skills. And one of the best ways you can do it is with a certification. And again, it's actually something that's tangible because what you could do is say, okay, in 2020, by September, I'm going to get Docker certified. You go ahead and do it. You now have the achievement. And you also get the recognition. You are an action taker, which is really key because loads of people can talk about it, but very few actually do it. And now this helps. You want to go for a new job, you want to go for that promotion. You've now got that qualification and it helps. And again, massively in the consultancy world. Also in the corporate world as well, it's very similar where you have to have these deliverables and targets and objectives you have to meet. The next thing I want to talk about is experience. And it's kind of one of those double-edged swords where it can really start panicking people. And I just always say, don't worry about it. And people go, well, I can't not think about it because now I'm panicking about it. Let's really kind of sum it up here. As a senior engineer, you're going to be expected to know a bit more than the mid-engineers. And again, if you want to learn fast because you're going for that promotion, definitely check out my site. Got loads of courses on there and you'll be an expert in no time at all. But the key thing they're really looking for here is that sort of mentorship and ability to help people. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be making calls and you're going to be owning things. And by owning it, they mean taking responsibility. You might have a project to set up a Kubernetes cluster. You, as a senior engineer, are probably going to need to know how to set it up. What might happen is a mid-engineer may actually pick up the work. Now, what happens if they run into issues? Well, they're going to come to you. You need to be able to help them. Now, let's be honest here, a lot of the time it's going to be Google, but the key part with Google, and this is what I don't think enough people talk about, is how you understand the results. That could be a whole separate topic itself. As we mentioned, it's that mentorship of helping them understand and actually deploying it, actually doing the work. And also coming back to the point of owning it, because your name's on the line here. You're going to report to a manager. So when they go, well, where are we at? You need to be able to feedback to these managers and say, well, okay, well, mid-engineer is working on it right now. They've encountered an issue and this is what's happened and this is how we're fixing it. So there's also another thing is even like communication, right? You're going to be dealing with key stakeholders now, which is a fancy way of saying the managers and the project managers. That's going to become part of your day-to-day. So now we've talked about experience, we've talked about certs, and hey, there are some really good ones out there. If you want to really go for senior, Docker cert's quite a nice one to get. AWS, you might want to go for professional, maybe you want a solutions architect professional, but that's kind of the extreme end. Maybe DevOps Pro, quite a good one to get. SysOps, the Amazon one, is actually quite a neat one to get because it's very DevOps focused and it's quite a nice, easy one to get after solutions architect. Certified Kubernetes administrator is a big one. I think that's definitely something I think we're going to see very soon as being like the go-to. You are a senior engineer with Kubernetes once you have that, but probably more so in the next year or two, we'll start seeing that. Because I think everything still now in DevOps is kind of sorting itself out. Probably the coolest one to get right now is the Terraform cert. And again, another shameless plug, go to the Warp 9 website and go ahead and check out the Terraform cert course because that's going to be a really neat one to get. And now let's circle back to experience because we've now talked about certs. What can we do experience-wise? Now you kind of got two options. If you can't really see much movement in your company or it's things start working out, or maybe it's just you and you want to really go for that senior role, well, you're going to need experience. And again, it's always that chicken and the egg or the catch-22 of I need a job to get experience, but I can't get a job without experience. Again, I have two things for this. One, make the opportunity. If it doesn't exist, make it. Something as simple as organizing a weekly call between the DevOps engineers or a weekly catch-up, something is you showing ownership. You now become and now get to be seen as a figure of authority. You can now explain to the Scrum Masters, the project managers, that look, DevOps engineers at 2:00 on a Wednesday are having a catch-up call to go over any issues we've had. And even then, it sounds quite good. Oh, well, who's organising it? I am. You can even just start saying, well, look, I'm organising this and I'm the one in charge of it. And they might go, okay, well, we've actually got these issues. Can you have a look into it for us? And real, You are now taking ownership of things. And like I said, if the opportunity doesn't exist, that's just a simple way you can start making it. Another thing you can do is if there's tickets or assignments, start picking it up. Start looking at work that you could go, right, how can I twist this into a bigger piece of work? Or is there a bigger piece of work I can take control of? And let me own it. Let me start delegating parts of it. Let me take lead on it. And that's kind of the thing we're looking for here, that initiative, taking the lead on it. So again, we use the Kubernetes example. Let's say, right, they need a new environment setting up. Look, this is prime time here. This is where you jump in and go, right, say to the Scrum Master in your stand-up in the morning and say, I'm going to own that. I will take care of it. And we, as a DevOps team with the engineers, will look at implementing it. If you're quite quiet and people are like, wow, look at this guy, he's really stepping up. That's going to look so awesome. Really pat yourself on the back. You're now able to go there and say, right, we're now going to deliver this. Go ahead and do it. And again, you are now going to be seen as that position and that figure of authority. You are now working your way up to that senior engineer. And let's be honest, dude, give it a few months, you probably will now get seen as the senior engineer or even the lead engineer. Why is that? Because people now go to you, well, hey, we need something else setting up. Can you, help our team and guide them? And now you are seen as the expert. Fantastic, you're making that leap. And here comes the next one. Find another job. Simple as that. How does finding another job help? Well, if you've got the technical skills, you've kind of got a couple of areas and tricks you can use, but here's probably the biggest and most powerful phrase I will share with you. Courtesy of our special forces in the UK, the SAS or the Special Air Service, who dares wins. By you taking that leap of faith to one, not only leave, but two, start applying for senior roles, and you could even explain, like even if you had on your job title, DevOps engineer, right? You weren't senior, you weren't junior, you were just DevOps engineer. But you start explaining some of the stuff you did at your other job. Hey, I led the creation of the environment. I was the unofficial lead or senior DevOps engineer. I organized weekly meetings across all the DevOps teams. I helped resolve issues to other teams and coming in and mentoring and guiding. You on paper already right now just sound like, my God, this guy was a senior engineer. But let's be honest, most people don't really care about the job titles. Again, you've taken that massive leap of faith to try and get that senior job. They say fortune favors the brave. And because you've done this, you've now set up that opportunity. You're now applying for the roles and you're doing it. Fantastic. You are going to get it and you are going to succeed. So there we go. That wraps up this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.